So what is the key to manifesting your specific person? Why do so many people in my following get engaged, married, get their specific person back, stop getting triggered, or no longer want their person and get someone new, someone amazing, someone who treats them like gold? Because of this. So I've just been given the permission to do 10-minute videos. Now, if you guys have never watched me on YouTube, you won't realize that I actually talk at a lot more length about this stuff, about changing you to change your reality, because your reality is a reflection of you. So guys, I'm Loz. If you've never met me before, I'm probably the person who spoke the most about self-concept on TikTok before everyone else did. And I'm not bragging, that's true. I started my account around this time 2 years ago, and the self-concept that was being discussed on this app around that time was this kind of stuff. I'm a bad bitch, or I'm chosen, but not really discussing why you didn't feel chosen, just saying affirmations like I'm chosen, but not discussing why you've never felt that way and what to do about that. Just repeating shit ad nauseum, hoping that it will affect your brain. That shit won't affect your brain. You've got to know why you don't feel like that. Dig deep, uncover it, realize it isn't true about you. It's just the voices in your head from childhood that you don't have to believe anymore. And then your affirmations will actually stick and have some meaning because you realize they aren't true. You'll realize what's happening in your reality isn't true. You'll realize how your specific person is showing up isn't true. It's just a reflection of you. So if you can understand that, you'll understand why so many people now have cottoned onto what self-concept, meaning your idea of yourself, really means. It's not self-esteem. It's not loving yourself. It's not telling yourself you're a bad bitch. It's actually uncovering what you think of you, your concept of yourself, and then changing it. And that's why I have so much success. And that's why I guess there's 10,000 copycat accounts of me. Now, I don't have 1 million followers. Following's never been my thing. I don't really give a shit about the number on my account. I care about the effect I have on my following. Now, if you go to my Facebook group or any of the other, like my squad or wherever else I am, you'll uncover a whole lot of success stories. I even got a success story 2 days ago in my TikTok with a girl who did coaching with me, 2 calls, and she's just got engaged. And I said, do you mind if I stick this in my Facebook group? Because really, that's the only place that I put the success stories. And she said, no, of course, Loz, I don't mind. Now, that girl was in a long distance relationship. It was hot and cold when she rang me and when we had the calls, and it was very off at one point. They weren't even really talking much, and he wasn't making plans with her. And now after, a year and a bit, they're engaged, okay? A lot of people get to that point, but a lot of people get to another point where they're not triggered anymore by the person, okay? And sometimes they find someone new, and that's a massive phenomena in my following. So this person was commenting on the fact that we realized that it's us that's being triggered. The person isn't actually doing anything, and they're just reflecting us. And the more we can step into that and realize that, the more the person won't trigger us anymore. And this person wrote, yes, I can't believe the changes in me. So in my account, we talk about changing us, not them. And then they change. This is the thing, guys. If they're a reflection of you, then they change. Just like a mirror. You have to change your face first to make your mirror change, don't you? Your specific person is simply your mirror, the mirror of all your inner shit. And if you don't change your inner shit, they won't fucking change. Okay, so a lot of people are cottoning onto this now and teaching self-concept, and that's great. A lot of them teaching it wrong, but as long as self-concept's being bandied around and people are all around the world changing themselves, I don't care. I don't care if you're all talking about it now. That's wonderful, fantastic, okay? But as long as you're teaching it properly, that you're teaching it like it's your concept of yourself, not self-love. We don't have to love ourselves to manifest. You're manifesting all the time already. What we're trying to do is what this person is doing here. She can't believe the change in herself. It's all about her. She's realized she has to change her. Something happened earlier. This is with her specific person. I felt sick, but within 10 minutes, not triggered. Now, I thought that was appropriate because I'm going to do a 10-minute video. But what I teach is not being triggered. Allowing yourself to observe what happened. He just said this. He said, I don't want you anymore. He said that his third party dating apps just popped up on his phone. Whatever the fuck it was that triggered you, that normally you would spiral about, normally you might have a reaction about, normally you might cry about, you realize, hang on. What did I do to cause this? That's the biggest thing that everyone now asks in my following. If you go to my Facebook group, if you join my TikTok lives or my coaching sessions every week in my squad, my private monthly coaching group, people always ask me, what have I done to cause this? What was I thinking that caused him or her to do this, to say this, to act this way, to reject me, to abandon me, etc.? You've got to understand if they're reflecting you, you have to investigate what you thought dominantly for a while that then reflected to them and made them act that way. Now, when you observe it, What have I done? Oh, that. Then you can be nonchalant or disconnected from it or understand it or not triggered by it because you realize you were the cause of it. Okay? Otherwise, it's like you've caused a car accident and you've got out and yelled and screamed at the other person, but you were the one who was texting while you were driving and then you're yelling at that person. They didn't do anything. You did. You've got to realize they're reflecting you, your specific person or anyone in your immediate reality. And it's just your reality, guys. It's what people don't get about free will. People in your reality, and it's only yours in the quantum physics world of it all. They are only reflecting you because there is only you. I know that's really hard to get your head around, but when you understand that they're a reflection of you, you can't blame them. You can't get angry, and then you can't get triggered. And if you do get triggered, you can start to control it. Now, this person said they went from being Crystal 1.0 to Crystal 2.0, and that's what I teach you guys, to jump into Loz 2.0. The version of you that has what they want, the version of you that doesn't get triggered by a specific person, the version of you that gets engaged. And that's what people get in my group. Engagement, their person back, not triggered, the money, the house, the car, because they've stepped into the new concept of themselves, their new version. You can't be the old you if you want to be the new you. You can't be in your old reality and the new reality at the same time. It doesn't work. You are either in the new state or the old state. And a lot of you don't even understand what states means. And I've seen it a lot on Twitter and a lot in the Law of Assumption community. And that's where I base my teachings from, guys. Neville Goddard and the Law of Assumption. That people are states people. They're talking about state or the state you're in. But a lot of people aren't even understanding what that means. It means the place you most often return. So if the place this person most often returns is a place of untriggeredness, of not being affected by their SP anymore, of the new version, Crystal 2.0, she's going to get results because she's not being triggered anymore like the old Crystal. But if she stays the old Crystal and she gets upset and she gets triggered and reacts and tells him off or asks what he's doing or why did you do that and then starts a fight, starts a conflict, the same old cycle from before will perpetuate and the specific person will react the same old way. And they'll either leave you on red, reject you, not return your calls, abandon you, leave for someone else, etc. And you'll be in the same perpetual cycle you were in before and you're wondering why, but it's because you're still the same old bitch you were before. Now, I say bitch a lot, and if you don't like that, guys, if you don't like swearing, you really won't like my account. You can't be the same old bitch you were before. That's how this works, guys. If you want a new reality, you have to be the new you. And that means obliterating all your old fucking thinking. All of it. You can't have just some of it. You can't be filling up your bottle with fresh new wine. This is a cup, but filling up your cup with fresh new tea if you've still got the old tea in it. It's going to taste pretty shit. You've got a nice clean cup filled up with nice hot brew of tea. Okay? If you mix the two teas, one old tea from last week and your fresh new tea out of your kettle, how's that going to taste? It's going to taste shit. That's what some of you are doing. Some of you are pouring hot water, beautiful fresh hot water, your new thoughts, your new affirmations, the new state of you into the old state of you, into that old cup with the old shitty tea that's been sitting there for 2 weeks. How's that going to taste? How are you going to taste to your specific person? You're going to be all kinds of triggered. You're going to be the same old bitch you were before, and you're going to have the same old reactions you had before, and you'll manifest the same situations you had before. Being left on red, being left, being abandoned. People don't get the success they do in my group for nothing. They do it, they get the success because they do what I say. They change themselves. They take full and complete responsibility for the way their person is showing up because they know all they are is a reflection, and then they change themselves and then their person changes. They're not actually changing, guys, they're reflecting. Your mirror isn't changing, your mirror is reflecting. You don't tell your mirror off in the morning because you look like shit. You go and change your face, don't you? A lot of you aren't changing your face. A lot of you aren't changing your thinking. A lot of you are having the same reactions. A lot of you are coming from the same old state you were in before, and you haven't poured all that old tea out of your cup and poured in the fresh water. If you're not doing that, that's why you're not succeeding. If you're not doing that, that's why you're not getting the same success that my followers get. And I don't mean to brag, but I've had 2 engagements in the last 2 or 3 weeks from followers who had coaching with me. One to a brand new specific person. She had 3 calls with me. 2 of them were about the first specific person who was no longer talking to her. And the third one is now the guy she's engaged with. The third call, she had a crush on her boss, and now she's engaged to her boss. The new engagement was a person who was hot and cold with their long distance person. Do you want to get the engagement? Do you want to get the guy? Do you want to get the girl? You've got to be the new you. They became their new selves and they no longer were triggered. Do it, guys, and watch miracles happen. Okay?